So, rocks to flip over. So, I'm gonna hit on. Oh, we're actually staying at this hotel here, and I walked around the side and I've seen this nasty, dirty, north-facing side. I can see where somebody's been pressure washing down here. The dog's been pissing, and it kills mold, ammonia. I can see where somebody took a pressure washer and pressure washed this. So we're going to hit on commercial work. And I'm going to hit on it a couple reasons. So we're traveling right now I did a ride along the day with Mr. Luke Cowett out here in the Tulsa, Oklahoma area. And when I did this here, he had talked about a commercial job. I've talked to Jason. He did some commercial jobs, and so that's what I want to hit on. And I've been getting asked a lot in my group, my personal group. If you haven't joined, you can go to pressurewashup.com/free, get 30 days free. You also get into the Facebook group, and I've been asked a lot about the commercial side of things in there also. So, with commercial, there can be a really good thing. Flipping rocks is fun with that mindset, and that is true. And we'll talk about flipping rocks and why we want to flip rocks and stuff like that. But, maybe we come here to this hotel. It's a very nice hotel. It's definitely, it's not your $99, it's not your $49 pay by the hour hotel. This is a place where people stay. We're in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, so it's a nicer area. This is the nicer part of Tulsa. This is where a lot of the money is, what I'm finding out, is in here in Broken Arrow. So Broken Arrow is definitely if you look around everything else is clean. Everything else is looking nice. And so this is just one thing that I want to hit on. So, when we come into these areas, this is things that we can look for, and this is things that we can flip rocks. And so these are definitely something so that way you can see. Now, what do I mean by flipping rocks? A lot of people that might not make sense, but what do I mean by flipping rocks? Does that mean I come over here and I just start flipping rocks? Yes, that's what that means. We're going to flip rocks to see if we can find treasure underneath of them. And when you think of it this way, this is some things that we can do to do commercial, to flip rocks, go knocking on doors, go, Luke had told me that one way that he got his $2,500 job, it took him 4 hours. He did have to rent a $200 lift, and he made $400 in 4 hours. How did he do that? Well, his rock was he posted into a Facebook group that he didn't really want to post into. He didn't live in that neighborhood group, but he went ahead, he got into it, and he posted, and now he cleaned the lady's house, and she owned an apartment building, and guess what? He got a $2,500 job, 4 hours working, and that's the way to do it. This building is not dirty other than this side right here. This building is not dirty. So we could come in here and charge $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 to clean this one wall. You're going to have to rent a lift, because unless you have one hell of a soft wash system, you're looking at probably 60, 70 feet up, to get to the roof. You're going to have pretty good system to be able to get up there. So you're going to have to rent a lift to get up here. The rest of this building is not clean. But there's other things that we can clean that they might want clean too. Maybe we clean the sidewalks. Maybe we clean around the pool. Maybe we clean other things. And so now we can get our ticket up even higher. And this way we can get our stuff with the commercial work. So another way is flipping rocks. And I talk about this and it works. Flipping rocks. What do I mean by flipping rocks, Jason? Well, that means we put boots on the ground. We go out there and we see this hotel, and we come into this hotel and we say, and we take pictures, and we can do something like company cam and take pictures and get a link ready to go of, hey, this is dirty, things like that. And we can go into the front door and ask that person there. Now, probably 95% of the time, 96% of the time, that person has no idea of who. So you're going to have to figure out who I need to talk to. So obviously, you're going to want to talk to the general manager. So we're going to have to go up a step. If they try to give you the ring around that, and then we're going to say, hey, I seen you have a dirty side over here. We can help take care of that. Who do I need to talk to be in charge of that, would be in charge of that? If they give you a maintenance man, at least you're moving up the chain. You're moving up the chain to find who you need to talk to. Usually, when you find somebody, you will find who you need to talk to. And the beautiful thing about when you find the right person, usually they're not just in charge of one hotel. Usually they're in charge of 5, 10, 20 different hotels because they're in charge of the maintenance. Now, once we get that email address, we're not just going to take the email and just email them. We're going to get on LinkedIn. We're going to follow them on LinkedIn. We're going to start commenting on LinkedIn. We're going to send a message through LinkedIn. We're going to do it through email. And we're going to hit every avenue of this person so he knows who you are. He knows that you can clean this. Once we get that email address, we're going to put up here, hey, we can take care of this one wall. We can send it through a link of company cam. pressurewashhelp.com/cam will get you free 14 days. We're going to send him up there. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a picture of this. And we're going to say, hey, we can clean this for you. We can make this look brand new again so it don't look all janky and all nasty. We can clean it for you. And guess what? He may say yes. The worst thing that someone can say is, yeah, actually, that was my wife. That's the room we're staying. So I seen that's why I was like, but so that is definitely some reasons why you want to do this. You want to make sure that we are flipping rocks. And people might say, well, Jason, how hard is it to clean this right here? How long is this going to take me? This is going to take me longer of setting up and tearing down than cleaning this side of the wall here. Because I can stand right here with my soft wash system and I can spray that side and I can spray that side and I can go up on a lift right here in the middle and clean the whole thing. And then I'm going to come down and rinse it all at once. This one side here, I could probably have it done in about, with set up, tear down, I could probably have it done in about 2 hours. So even if I went at 2 hours, maybe I'm going to bump it up a little bit more because, I want to get my ticket up as high as I can, and they don't know how hard it is. So maybe I say, this is $1,000 wall right here with a $200 lift or $300 lift. I'm going to know what my cost of my lift is, so that way I know how much is it going to cost me to clean this here. So I just now this wall here isn't much different than Luke did for $2,500. It was a one side, he got a lift, one side of the thing went up, cleaned it, came back down, did the windows, was extra because I can clean the windows. That can be part of, hey, package A is just cleaning the wall. Package B can be cleaning the walls and windows. And so that way we're getting, and package C is cleaning the wall, the windows, and all of the concrete. Or package A could be just this wall. Package B is the whole building. Package C is the whole building and all the concrete. See how I just went from a $500,000 wall to $10,000, just like that. And this wouldn't take me probably this whole building. If I clean this whole building, and yes, I could do it with an 8-gallon minute with a soft wash pump. This whole building, all the concrete, I could probably be in and out of here in about 2 to 3 days. I could probably do it a little bit quicker if I had a helper or two. And the one reason why that it's going to be a little bit tougher for me is on this back side, there's not any good access. So it's going to either, I'm going to have to get a bigger lift or that. Some other things that we got to look at when we're looking at these concrete or these, will 5.5 push up water that high? Yes, it will. It will, Michael. One thing we got to look for is water sources. We got to find our water sources so that way we can do that. A 5.5 gallon will not spray to the top of this roof right here from the ground. But if I'm in a lift, I can spray this whole thing with a 12 volt. No problem at all. I've done over 135 feet with the 135 foot lift. And I was able to use that 12 volt all the way to the top. So those are definitely, you can do that with a 5.5 or 7, either one, and that will do that. Yes, with a lift. But yeah, so this building here, this first floor, it's pretty tall just because I know by the steps. And so usually you go 10 to 12 foot per floor. So for 4 floors, we're at least 40 feet, and we're actually probably more like 50 feet for this building, 60 feet to the peak. So, you know, we are pretty high up of getting this building. Some things, other things, you know, we got an outlet here that we would want to watch that is open. So we got to, you know, we would want to close that, tape it off, make sure that it is not giving us issues. Again, the windows, you can see the windows has some funk going on here. So those are definitely some things that we would have to look at and do that. My 5.5 story will hit 3 stories. Yes, 3 stories at 8 feet tall, 9 feet tall. You're at 30 feet, and that's about all you're going to get with a 5.5 gallon minute pump or the twin gallon minute pump. The other thing we will hit on here, where I was going to go sit, is somebody's already taken my seat over there. So another thing I'll hit on here too is when we're doing this stuff, when we're bidding this stuff, you know, a lot of people are scared to death about how much to charge on this. How much do I charge, Jason? How much do I charge? So usually how I do it is I look at this, I can look at this wall and know my lift and say, time I get a lift here and I get it set up, I clean this one section here, it's going to take me 3 hours. All right, so this section here is going to take me 3 hours. This next section is going to be a 2 sections, so that's 6 more hours. 3 hours on the other side, 6 hours. So that's kind of how I can gauge how long it's going to take me to make sure that I clean this building. Then what I do is I take that time and I times it by $300 an hour, $350, $400. I don't care what you times it by, just not 99, please, because you're not going to make money. But $300, $350, and then that is a good way to be able to get a price. You know, a lot of people, they look at this and they're like, oh my God, how much do I charge for something like this? Break it down. How long do you think it's going to take you this time? And if you're wrong, then you learned you something. And you know, the other thing is how long is it going to take me? You know, if I'm wrong, guess what? I just learned that I was too cheap. If I was way over and they took it, hey, I made good money off of it. That's one way to do that. So those are some things that we can look at. You know, and if you need to, if you like, man, I'm a little scared, I don't know if I can do it in 3 hours, put 4 or 5. That's fine. It's a good starting point. A lot of times we don't know what we don't know. It is very hot here. Today is 95 degrees in Oklahoma, and it is it was like 105 with the humidity and stuff. So it is scorching here, and yes, I'm sweating here. But I didn't want to be laying in the bed in my room because my kids are all there. So, and they make lots of noise, and you can't. It's not good to put stuff in their mouth to gag them. But that. So, and the other question is what do I need to clean this with? You could do this with the EnviroSpect downstream injector. You may have to hit it twice, which that would allow me to get pretty high. But you're probably going to need a stronger mix. 3-4% is usually good enough that it will clean it up. You might could go 5 or 6%. So then you just know it. So that brings up another good point here is we really got to make sure that all the grass is wet, the trees the bushes, and yes, even these bushes over here on this side over here, because we could be spraying over, could be getting hit. So we want to make sure that those are all good and watered so we don't have dead bushes. The last thing you want to do is come in here and do weed control for them and kill all their bushes, and we do not want that. So that is a big no-no. So we do want to make sure that we are cleaning it, but not that. I know you'll need to rinse the glass, but what about the walls? Will the walls need? Yes, you will need to rinse well. And again, you don't want that bleach to sit on the windows very much, because what can happen is it will spot those windows really bad, and then it's a pain in the butt to get them clean. On these windows, I would use a water-fed pole to try to clean them after, if they wanted me to do that. You can get a pole. I don't know if it would reach that top window or not. I think you can get a 50-foot pole. I know you can get 45, but yes. And it is a good idea to hit those windows, like you're saying, of cooling those windows down, because they're gonna, as soon as they're gonna dry quick. Like if you're doing it today, it's gonna dry quick. So this is one way of how we can get commercial work. So what are some other ways that we can get commercial work? Well, one way is flipping rocks, and that is going in here, knocking on doors, meeting people, networking, going to the Chamber of Commerce, networking there. We can do it by, BNI, networking there. We're networking with business owners. We're networking with people that own stuff. We're networking with, yes, property managers companies, different things. That is definitely one thing. Property manager companies, there's a lot of property managers out there that are under one big group. So instance, for by us, it's called Town Properties. They probably got, I bet they got 3,000 or 4,000 different locations, and all the different managers that manage all of apartment complexes and HOAs and all different kinds of things. So that is definitely one thing that we can go in there and find and get these people, so that way we can do property managers. Another way to do it is we can go and find, obviously, like I said, turning rocks. We can join our apartment association, our local apartment growth association. There again, it's all of that. We can join BOMA, BOMA.org, I believe it is, and there is another thing that we can do to network in those groups, and so it's about finding them. So another thing is just going and knocking on doors, talking to people, going into these businesses, looking at it, talking to these people, finding out who the property manager is. Sometimes if we don't know who the property manager is, if there's a big sign out front, of the business of availability, spots that they're trying to lease, guess what? We can call that number and we can see who is taking care of all that stuff, because we can ask them, do you think these places pay 30? Yes, most of them are going to pay net 30 to net 90, and that is one thing that sucks. For some Gatorade, thank you. That is some things that can suck about commercial work. So, for instance, Luke here and has gotten a pretty sweet deal with a restaurant chain that has 40 different restaurant chains in the area. And if he can get these 40, there's another possibility of another 40, which will also give him 80 that they're wanting clean twice a year. So it's a potential for the first 40 that it's over $100,000 bid for this. He's getting $1,200 per location per time that they're wanting to do twice a month. Plus, on top of this, they're wanting to do the window cleaning. So this place that is local here to, it's a local chain. I'm not going to mention it because I don't want him to have things to come in there. They are willing to pay him, $1,200 every time he does it. takes him about 2 hours to clean one, and to do, because he's doing the drive-through, he's doing the exterior building of the windows, he's doing the concrete through the drive-through, and so he's being able to do that. And so he's cleaned 10 so far. He's already cleaned 10, and so they're wanting this done twice a year. So, and the beautiful thing about this is you can do it in the wintertime, and they're wanting it done in the wintertime, and they're wanting it done in the summertime when it's slow, sometimes when everything else slows down. So there is contracts out there that you can make a lot of money off of this stuff. You know, it takes him 2 hours, and it's just by himself. He does have no help. He does have to do them before 10 o'clock in the morning. He has to either do them overnight or do them at 10 o'clock in the morning. And so there's definitely things that you can do commercially wise that will help you get money over and over and over. Get that repeat business, get that reoccurring money. And if we can get that reoccurring money, that is huge, because if we can get this in a contract for 1 year or 2 years, guess what that does to make your business work? If you decide to sell your business and you have a contract that's giving you $100,000 to $200,000, $300,000 a year, well, your business is worth way more than anybody that's just doing residential or has nothing at that point. Because contracts, when we have contracts, that's how, when we want to sell a business, makes it worth a lot more. So Luke here locally in Tulsa is getting a contract for all of these restaurants. He has a possibility of getting another 40, and the people that own this place actually has another 40. So he's in just the Tulsa, Oklahoma area. He has availability of like 120 stores, doing them twice a week. How did you say they found him? That's a great question. So, you remember I always say you never know what sign you might put out, what business card you might put out, what Facebook ad you might put out. So, Luke he got into a neighborhood group. He didn't live in the neighborhood group in the Facebook group. So, Facebook group, he got on Facebook, and he's don't believe in lying and that kind of thing, and I don't believe you should either. And he didn't answer the questions to get into this neighborhood group. So they approved him to get into the neighborhood group. He asked to join, but he didn't answer the questions, and he didn't feel like he didn't want to write a post in this neighborhood group. It's a very nice neighborhood. It's really super nice. It's one of the nicer neighborhoods in Tulsa. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to put a post in there. Put a post in there, and about 5 to 6 days later, there was this dude messaged me, hey, can you do this restaurant? He's like, yes, I can. And from there, it went from that one Facebook post has gotten him to be potential of $500,000. You never know. He could do this for 2 or 3 years, 5 years, and he just made $500,000 off of one Facebook post. One Facebook post. So again, you never know what one sign, you never know what one Facebook post, you never know what one anything. So there's definitely potential there to make money. So that is Luke. So I'm going to give you another for instance on a commercial jobs of why they're so important. And looking for these, luck is when preparation meets opportunity. You know, and a lot of luck has to do with taking action. If Luke didn't take action, Luke would have never got this restaurant chain. And he's actually watching me tonight. And I did a ride along with him, and so there will be some video coming out probably months from now, because I'm so far behind and I have so much other video coming out. But so there's definitely, when you're looking at opportunity and things that we need to do and flipping rocks, you know, you got to look at why when I say get on LinkedIn to start doing these things and start building our list, a lot of that may not be for today. A lot of that may be for next year. A lot of it might be 2 years down the road if you're still in business, 3 years down the road. Because when we build these relationships and they open up and we do communication, it's definitely planting the seeds. And we need to, and not just plant the seeds, but we need to water the seeds. And what do I mean by watering the seeds? Well, this is things of, wow, thanks for the info. Has helped a lot using small pressure washer, a couple grams. Using a watering the seeds is getting on LinkedIn and following that customer. We went into this hotel, we figured out who is in charge of it. Then we go on LinkedIn, we find them on LinkedIn. Once we find them on LinkedIn, then from there, we're gonna keep talking. We're gonna keep doing those things that you need to do. So that way you can make sure that you are growing. And, you know, again, like I say, you never know what LinkedIn post, you never know what business card you hand out, you never know what Facebook post you hand out, you never know what yard sign you put out. So, story number 2. There's a guy that's local to me. His name is DJ. And there's a particular gas station that is in the area, and it could be an opportunity of, again, being a $100,000 a year contract. They're wanting him to come in to clean it twice a month or twice a week at a gas station. He did this gas station last year. How they called him off of a yard sign, and he did it last year. He didn't have hot water, he just had cold water, and they liked it so much, but they wanted him to clean this other gas station. They have other gas stations that this opportunity might turn into more, but it comes down to that this gas station is wanting clean twice a year or twice a week, and some things they're only wanting to clean twice a month. So it's a little here, there, and everything. Every time he cleans this, it's going to be $1,000 a day. It's that much concrete. It's that much stuff. He did lower his prices on concrete, and I would suggest to, if you're getting something that's repeating and recurring, and it's going to be all winter long, and that it's not about just getting 30 cents a square foot at that point. We might need to come down into the 10, 15 cent range to be able to, because here's the thing, if I'm doing it twice a week, it's not going to be real dirty because I can move a lot faster, and it's going to be that. So he did have to bring his prices down. But if he gets this contract, this could be over $100,000 a year contract just for cleaning a gas station. It'd be twice a week, so it gives him opportunities too, so that he can go clean other things on the days that he's not cleaning this gas station. So there's definitely things that we got to look at and flipping rocks, and that all came off of a yard sign. The guy that did it called him off of yard sign and is getting that set up with there. So definitely make sure that we are flipping the rocks, make sure that we are networking, make sure that we are doing the things to try to find this. Because here's the deal. What sets you apart from your competitor? That's a great question. What sets you apart from your competitor? Well, one thing that actually Christina was in the group, my group, said that they had contacted 5 people. She's looking at an apartment complex. They called 5 people, and only 2 of them had insurance. Well, that's already a pretty good advantage right there, right? We go from 5 to 2. So when we look at from 5 to 2, that is pretty amazing, right? Just by having insurance, we go from 5 competitors to 2 competitors right off the get-go. So what are some other things that can set us apart? Well, Flipping rocks. We went up here and we knocked on the door and we talked to the people inside, and we did those, and we did we're networking. We are going to the networking groups. We are hitting LinkedIn. We are knocking on doors. We are trying to flip rocks to see what is under that rock. Is there just dirt? Is there a worm? Is there a snake? Or is it a good job? You never know. So that's why we have to keep flipping rocks to see what is under those things. Because when we flip rocks, it can be scary sometimes. I'm not a big snake fan. I don't like snakes. But you know what? Snakes live under rocks. But with that said, there could be gold under that rock too. And so that's why we want to flip rocks. All right. There's a Walgreens that is just black and nasty by my house. Will a 3.6 downstream work? So if it's black, it's probably not. You will need a super sucker. If that might not get it, then you will need a 12 volt because usually that is going to be there. Diamonds are made from rocks and they're just not on surface. Flipping rocks, that's where the gold is. You're exactly right. Got to be careful. Politicians live under rocks and they all lie. But just remember what you need to do is you got to go out there and do it. I can talk all I want. If you're not taking action, it does you no difference of what you're doing at the end of the day. If you're not going out there and taking actions, and here's the deal, guys, it's getting to the summertime. It's getting to the point that things are going to start slowing down. It just happens. Maybe not for everybody, but a lot of people out there, it is going to slow down. This is a good time that we don't go and we just go sit down in our chair and we start pouting of there isn't no work and I can't make no money. This is the time that we go planting. This is planting season. This is planting season of planting those seeds so that way you never know. One of my Voxer guys, I told him to go I told him to go flip rocks, and I tell him to flip rocks. And the other day he was slow and he went and flipped rocks and he found $2,500 under one rock. And it's an opportunity that could be way more than just $2,500. But how did he get that? He didn't get it by sitting at home saying, man, it's hot, and man, I can't do this, and man, nobody wants my service, and man, I suck, and I suck at sales. I don't like talking to people. I just suck. And that thing between our ears of fear, it will talk to you so negative that it's not funny. And that's not the case, guys. You can do it. You have what it takes. You have what it takes. You have a brain that you can go out there and do things. And if you suck, you know how you get better at it? Try. Figure out, do it a couple times, see what they say, see how they talk, learn different things. Yes, you do suck if you want to sit there on your couch and just complain and think that you suck. You do suck if you don't take action. But you know what happens when we start taking action? We can find rocks that need cleaned. We can find those things that you can do to be able to grow a business. I hear a lot of times people be like, Jason, they just not money in my area. You know what that is? That's excuses. There was a video put in my group in pressurewashhelp.com/free in the Facebook group, and it was a good video about people worrying about competition. You never know what your competition is doing. You never know that, yes, my competition has 5 brand new trucks and they look amazing and they just put all this money in their trucks and they just, this is just awesome and they're the best and I can't compete with that. You never know what their profit is. They might be on the brink of bankruptcy. They might be at the point of they're so far in debt that they can't do nothing. They might be so far in debt that they're one bad thing away from going completely bankruptcy. So don't worry about your competition. You know what, if you're wanting to worry about growing a business, worrying about setting up systems that work and that will build culture in your business that everybody will want to come work for you. Yes, Chick-fil-A has hiring signs, but most time the Chick-fil-A's that I've always went to have full of employees. I've never been to a Chick-fil-A that has been closed because they don't have employees. Now, do you think that's because they're just so great to work for? Or do you think they have a culture that people want to show up and go to work? When you set the culture for your business that people want to come in and work for you and only work for you, it don't matter where you're at. People will come all over to work for you. Things that you can teach your employees and not sit there and downgrade our employees and say our employees suck and all people suck and all of that kind of stuff, because that comes back to the person that is running the business. That means you suck. If your employees suck, you suck. You know why? Maybe they're not very good at things, but maybe they were brought to you so you could teach them how to do better sales. Maybe they've come to you so you could teach them how to better do their finances. Maybe you can teach about finances, about their personal finances. A lot of people want money, but money's not everything. I know a lot of people that work for a lot of people that don't make a lot of money, but they love their job. Why do they love their job? Because the culture around the business is amazing. They want to come to work over and over and over. And when you have great culture and you have places where people want to come to work and not just sit on unemployment, that is when you have a good business. That is when your business will grow 10 times more than you ever would dream of. That's when your business will do 10 times more revenue than you ever would dream of. I mean, you could dream of so much, and if you have crappy culture, you have crappy employees because you have a crappy boss, which is you, that is the issue. That is why you will never grow your business. That it all comes back to you. It's your fault. It's the book, Extreme Ownership. If you don't own it, it's your fault. Are these employees going to screw up? Yes, they're going to screw up. Are they going to screw up 10 times after you told them 10 times? Yes, they're going to screw up 10 times after you told them. Especially if you don't have systems in place of, when people go to Chick-fil-A to work, they have a system. Bam, 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 bam. And you know what a lot of it is? Customer service. How to be the best at customer service. If you're trying to hire people on that they're a great pressure washer, I'm going to say beware. I would rather you have a person that is great at being a person and is great at being able to learn. Not, I know everything. I'm the best pressure washer ever. I've worked here. Because you know what? That's probably going to be cancer at the end of the day. Not to say that they could be the best employee, but if I can teach anybody how to pressure wash, it's not that I need a pressure washer when I started. I need somebody that loves to be outside and work outside. I need somebody that loves to get up in the morning and show up and has a good attitude and wants to grow with me. And so that is definitely something that you have to do. I trained a 16-year-old and a 15-year-old yesterday, and both wanted to work for me full-time and already talked about how they want to be able to do jobs without me. That's amazing. And you know what? That goes back to you can run a business no matter how young you are, how old you are, male, female, anything. Find a winner and teach him well. Amen to that. We can teach anybody the pressure washing side. We can't teach anybody the wanting to go to work side. That's just Culture, 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 culture. You want to be a cult that they want to follow you. That's what you want to be. And when I mean that, I don't mean that in some crazy way, but you want them to be able to follow you. And yes, you might have to show them your books. Why? Why do you have to charge so much and I'm only making so little? Well, here, I have to hire you and I'm paying you 10%, 15%. I have to pay workers' comp. I have to pay payroll tax. I have to pay the equipment. I have to pay insurance. I have to pay you whether you're working and I got work for you or not. So that way you want to do that. I have to pay you to do different things. When you start sharing these things and you start showing that it's not just about me getting rich and me doing everything. Now, we don't have to show everything, but it's a good thing to show people of why we need to be where we are. If we got to hire a secretary, we got to pay her. We got to pay all her stuff. We got to do all that kind of thing. And when we get to that point and we can grow and we can make a culture, everything will be where you need to be at. I put Jason's secret sauce on my hash browns this morning. Love it. I'm going to buy my first pressure washer soon and start business. Kids do not know business. Find a winner and teach him well. So much work out there, it is crazy. And listen, guys, Mark just posted that there's so much work out there that it's crazy. Now, he has probably one of the biggest competitors out there across all states. I would about bet he has the biggest competitor across all states. This dude is very large and they do a lot of residential house washing. This guy spends lots of money doing marketing of his competitor. But Mark knows there's enough work out there for everybody. This guy, that Mark competitor, if somebody tells them what the price is, he'll undercut it by $200 or $300. And I'm talking, he'll do a $300 house wash. Now, his normal price was $1,800, and this dude will come down to $300 to get this work from the little guys like Mark. So, when you think about competitors, don't think about the competitor. Think about you. I know this guy is successful, but you don't always know when they are successful and when they're not. And yes, that is a dirty building. Just started my business. Been watching your videos and appreciate all the information. Awesome, New Jersey. Love it. Doing my first pressure washer business. I don't have a clue that what my competition charges. I do often hear you're on the high side, but I still get work. Yep, that's what it's all about. You're like, yes, I'm on the high side, and I love it. I had a guy call me and ask if I use chemicals or pressure for house washing. I said chemicals, and he said, good. He wants that over cheap pressure guy. Man was smart. Well, and a lot of times that goes back to the book, They Ask You Answer. And that's why you put this stuff on your website. That's why you tell people how you clean a house. That's why you tell them, and you can put it in video or on SEO or on website, because when they ask and you answer, you can give them information, and people want to know information. I used to fight in quad. They banned bare knuckle fighting. We only go 60 miles out. We have it dialed in. Just got my 90th review, 5-star review. 10 more for 100. I love meeting new people. So many just want to talk to someone. Be a good listener and just breathe and have casual conversation about what you do to solve the problem. That's a good point. Because actually I was talking about this with Luke today of, a lot of times that's why females close better than males. That's why females get more work than males can do on the phone. And a lot of times it's because they can listen. They don't have the Hello, I'm Pressure Wash Joe's. Yeah, we pressure wash, we soft wash, we clean your building, we use this pressure, we do this, we do that, we do all this awesome things, blah 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 blah. They don't care. Let them talk. They'll tell you what they want clean. They'll tell you their problem areas. They'll tell you everything you need to know. And all you gotta say is, okay, yes, we can clean that for you, ma'am. Let me get a little bit of information from you so that way we can give you a quote and get you cleaned right up. Okay, guess what? We just listened. One of many things you taught Mike and I. What's that? To let you talk and him to shut up. My deep voice helps me out. Jason, what's a good starting point to charge for doing flat work? 25, 30 cents a square foot. Yes, because you can answer the phone and you sound professional, and it's not about selling the thing. They're wanting the thing clean, but it's not about selling the clean. It's about listening. It's about doing the thing so that way you can help them. They're going to talk about their family and they're going to talk about their kids. And I talked to Luke today, and his wife answers the phone, and they got a 2-year-old there, and just say, hey, this is a small family business. Me and my husband, this is my kid in the background. You just went up 10 steps by bringing that information in versus you're just out here to make money. Because when you bring this kid could be yelling behind me, that can help you out. Now, you don't want it to be all the time, but a lot of people understand. A lot of people understand that, we're a small family business. Me and my husband run this business, and we support our family, and people love that. I own a window cleaning business, and recently added pressure washing. Now I have windows as an add-on, and that's in Colorado. You guys don't get this stuff like this in Colorado, a lot of the green. So you're doing a lot more of the flat work and doing a lot of the salt removal. It's not like you're getting the good old green here that is so nasty of the green. So definitely awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, have I got any other questions here? I know I kind of went on a rant, but that's fine. Love flipping rocks. Best ROI ever. You either spend time or money. Let's see here. There aren't enough of us out in there to clean even 20% of the structures in this country as a constant basis. It's true. And a lot of people think, oh, we're just flooding the market. You YouTube gurus are just flooding the market. Well, you keep that mindset up and go out of business, because that's what's going to happen. I just got fired from my full-time job. I'm a full-time washer. Now decision was made for me. Well, that was a lot easier made for you, Garrett, than trying to figure it out later. So, it goes back to now you have a why. Now you need to get stuff and get done. What is the basis of a good contract? Basically writing out things of, making sure that all windows are closed. We're not in charge. We're not liable if stuff gets damaged. By you not moving equipment, all of that kind of things. Making sure that, I put net 15 in my terms. It didn't mean I always got paid net 15, but at least I tried to get paid net 15. You can put that in your terms, all of that kind of stuff. Never say any more than you have to. You have a formula for how much to spend on labor and how much to spend on materials and how much profit you should get. There is some things out there. Usually you don't want to spend no more than 20. You want to kind of keep your labor down 25, 30%. That's why if you're paying 15%, 10, 15, 20% plus all the other things that go along with it, you can be there. Materials, you're not talking a whole lot. And a lot of it just depends. There's actually a sheet that Dan Plata has that I'll see if I can get out there so that way you can see kind of a thing there. What are the cons of not having a buffer tank with a power washer with downstreaming? burning up the pump. And the way you can do away with that is run cut that hose that goes feeding it back into it, the recirculation hose, and get you a longer one and throw it into the grass. And then that way, whenever you let off the trigger, it's just going to water the grass. That way, you're not going to burn up your pump, because you don't want to burn up your pump. But that's how you burn up your pump is you get talking to your customer and you're not spraying water. In about 5 minutes, you burnt up your pump. So that's the importance of why you want to do that for. That's why you want to make sure that it's, doing that. So that's the main reason. You can do it without that, and that's what you want to do. You want to just make sure that circulation line is able to flow water. So, let's see. What else were questions we get here? The pressure washing community is actually very strong. It is. It is. There, my closest competitor only lives 5 miles away from me. And I help him out every day that I can help out. There's plenty of dirty stuff for all of us to clean. That is true. Love it. I'm doing my first pressure washing soon and started my business. Awesome. Just do it. Take action. Take action. That's the difference between a successful business owner and a crappy business owner and a failing business owner. Is the business owner that is taking action, and it don't have to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. In fact, I would about tell you it's going to be not perfect by a long shot. And when you take action, things happen. When you take action, you have a reaction. And that is the beautiful thing about doing that. $1,900 day, 2 jobs, lots of calls, not from AdWords. Pulled the trigger. It's just about, and here I want to hit on this one here. Jason Huffner just put $1,900 day, 2 jobs, lots of calls, and not from AdWords. Jason Huffner was a guy that is in my Voxer program, and he boxed me last year. It was a little bit before now. It was in June. It was probably May-ish. And he boxed me and said, Jason, there's no way you can make money down here in Florida. Everybody is a $99 guy down here. And I boxed him back and I said, quit worrying about your competition. But Jason, it's only $99 land down here. Everybody charges $99. Quit worrying about your competition. But Jason, everybody's $99. A couple days ago, actually today, he sent me a picture of a $99 guy that's spending money in AdWords. Quit worrying about your $99 guys. Because you know what? When we worry about our $99 guys, we don't hit these $1,900 jobs in 2 days or in 2 jobs. When we're looking at this guy flipping rocks and you're not flipping your own rocks, that's when you start failing. That's when you don't get to where you want to go at. We have to keep flipping rocks. We have to keep doing 5 rounds. We have to keep knocking on doors. We have to keep putting those signs out. We have to keep posting in Facebook. We have to keep posting in LinkedIn. We have to keep posting our GMB pictures. We have to keep asking for our 5-star reviews. We have to keep doing the things. We have to keep doing the simple things. It's not hard, guys. It's simple things that will grow your business. It really is. We don't have to go out there and find this $2,000 website, because that $2,000 website ain't gonna grow your business. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not gonna grow your business, because if you're not putting the SEO into it and you're not doing all the little things, the Google My Business stuff, the pictures, the reviews, it's not gonna grow your business. It's not. I know people will tell you that it will, but it won't. It is doing the little things over and over and over and over and over and over and over. A lot of times when we get stuck, it's because we quit doing the little things. We quit doing the things that make us do what we need to do. We quit doing our 5-arounds. We quit putting our signs up. We quit posting our pictures. We quit doing these things. And when we do that, it's what it is. And exactly, you got to be consistent, prolific, and relentless. When it's 105 degrees in Florida, you're still going around putting them 5-arounds out there. You're still getting out and putting those signs out. You're still doing the things that you need to do. That is why we got to do it. That is why we got to do it. I will never live that story down. No, you won't, because it's so true. And if you want to join the Voxer program, and I can tell you to quit worrying about competition, then go check out kingofpressurewash.com/Voxer. There, you will get me in your ear, maybe more than you want me in your ear. But if you want to grow your business and get it to the next level, that's what you need to do. Just dropped my business card off at the hotel. Laugh out loud. I was in town and had to give that you will give in the morning, the GM in the morning. See, that is taking action. Luke, I told Luke that this hotel, that right here, that he needs to go drop it off. And what did he do? He take action. He brought his card to this hotel that has this dirty wall to try to get this thing cleaned. Will he get it? Maybe, maybe not. You know one way that he won't ever get it? By not ever coming here and doing what I told him to do, of come here and give a card there and find out what he needed to do. So when we do that, those are things that we can do to take action. We are thinking about Christmas lights. Christmas lights is a great thing. Definitely a great thing. Non-stop advertisement on all platforms. We have 5 days of rain. Guess what? I'm doing non-stop advertisement. Why is naming the picture so important? Because we're telling Google what that location is, where those pictures are located at, things about those pictures. Gonna follow up for sure. Get them, Luke. So, again, take action, guys. I know this was about commercial, but it's about taking action. A lot of people don't take action. They don't want to do the little things. And when we don't, and when I mean the little things, ordering your signs, pressurewashhelp.com/get signs. Go order your 100 signs, put them out. Say that I'm going to put out 25 per week, every week, rain or shine, want to or not to. And just because I'm going to do that, and that's what I'm going to do. Guess what? Your phone will start ringing. But Jason, I put out 50 and I haven't got no ring. Well, you only put out 50, put out another 50. You know, I've gotten some emails here lately. Jason, I've done this and this. Well, you spent $200 on Facebook ads. You just figured out what didn't work. You got to figure out what works. And we might need to put more than $50 into something to figure out what works and what don't work. Jason, I spent $1,000 on AdWords and I ain't got nothing. Well, you just figured out what didn't work. Figure out, is your landing page bad? Is your, does it not have good buttons? Does it have different things wrong with it? Is the ad bad? That kind of thing. You got to figure out what works, and how do you do that? By testing, by trying, and don't just spend $25 and be like, well, that didn't work. Spend $500 or $1,000 and then tell me it don't work. And then I'm going to tell you, well, what didn't work about it? Did it not work because people are clicking and they're backing out? Because you have a crappy landing page? They can't find your phone number? They can't find your way to get you? Or did it work because something else? Can you buy off the dollar menu, but you order $3 from the $10, don't you? You just entered out what doesn't work. Boom. You're exactly right. You just figured out what didn't work. And that's how you know what didn't work. And we're going to figure out what does work. And once we figure out what does work, we're going to throw the gas to it. We're going to put every dime, every marketing penny, everything out to, we're going to put the gas on it. We're going to pour the diesel on it. We're going to put the booster to it. We're going to put the fan on it. And we're going to put everything into it that what works. If we find out that signs is a good ROI and instead of putting out 25 signs a week, we're going to go put 100 signs out a week. Yes, There's people out there that I know that put out over 100 signs every week. Why do they put out 100 signs every week? Because it's bringing in them a lot of money. So you know what, when you bring in a lot of money, that's what you keep putting it out there. Hey, if I know Edwards is bringing me in a bunch of money, guess what? I'm gonna go unlimited budget on that bad boy, because I know that if I spend $100, it's gonna make me $500. So at that point, I'm gonna pour more gas onto it. Pour more gas onto it. Pour more gas onto it. That's what we want to do. Love your content. My spray gun locked up after I added the extension earlier. How would I get it working again? Oh, that's weird. I'm 3 weeks into business. I've spent at least $200 on line ads and landed a $300 job. I put out like 80 yard signs and I got $600 on good ROI so far. Off subject, but Christmas, 10K in Christmas lights in June. Hey, that's awesome. That is awesome. Well, guys, I'm gonna jump off here. I'm probably gonna have to go swimming in the pool because my kids love the pool and they're little fishies. I don't know. I'm gonna try to get out of it. Maybe just stick my legs in. But again, take action, guys. Don't stop taking action. You know, I can sit here and talk all night long about it, but if you don't go and take action, it doesn't do you no good. It does you no good if you don't take action. Go check out pressurewashhelp.com/free. You can get 30 days free in there. You go check out kingofpressurewash.com/Voxer. You can join the Voxer program and you'll get me in your ear. And I can help you and try to do whatever I need to do for you. But again, go out there, change the world, one house wash at a time, so that way you can take care of your kids, your family, take care of things that job, that job never would. So definitely go take action. Hope you all have a great night and a great weekend.